This is a trigger warning for the following episode since we speak about mental health, so we will be speaking about some sensitive topics. This is also a disclaimer that we use some dark humour and bad words as well, so if this is not the podcast for you, you can scroll on, but if this sounds good to you, come in. Did you?
Loved it. Best days of my life.
I love school as well, I think you're like me. What about, so we kind of know each other a wee bit.
Yes.
From back in the day.
You're right, Janet.
How? Tell us how.
Teenage years. Up to 17, 18. Young kids, nothing better to do with their lives at the weekends. Let's meet up and get drunk. And
drinking in Rosemount?
Rosemount was a nice safe place.
There was about 1,000 of us, Sean, all drinking up there. Frosty Jacks.
Yeah, no.
What were you drinking?
Maybe half bottle of vodka mixed in a bottle of boost.
Jesus.
Give it a good shake and an
So,
hour later.
I said to you earlier before we were recording, I remember you were always hyper.
Yes.
You were always running.
Yeah.
Like you never walked, you ran everywhere. So that's why, because you're full of boost and Red Bull and everything else.
Thanks for your compliments, Janet.
That's a good thing. So after, what age were you? So you played football as well your whole life. What age did you start football?
Well, when I was 2 or 3, my granddad would have took me over to Brook Park and put down brown leaves at Allentown and told me to run on an island like cones.
Brilliant.
And then I would have played soccer for TriStar when I was 7 or 8 years of age. Up to I was 13, 14.
So you were scouted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Were you scouted for an English team? Or did you play in England? Or talk me through that. What way did that work?
I was getting on well in the football and I was progressing in the city, and a few football teams, it would be in the Premier League and the Scottish League, they welcomed me over, and it's like trials, and
Oh, aye.
I got a few contracts offered, and I wasn't really interested. I was more interested in women and Derry City and what do I get up there at the weekends.
Aye, so I think that is a common thing for young fellas, for that amount of pressure, like, because these are teenagers. Of course these are going to be want to run after girls and drink boost and vodka all weekend. So did you actually play in England?
Yeah, I was at Newcastle United and Manchester United and
Brilliant.
a few other teams, we'll just...
Aye, just say that.
Yes, Janet.
So how long were you in England for?
Maybe a month at a time.
Right.
It would only lasted until I was 13, until I was 14 and a half, you weren't meant to go over until you were 15, but
Right.
They got me over pretty early.
Because you were that good. They were like, we want Tommy's full of boost. Get
Thanks
him
for your
over.
compliments, Jenna, but I took a fruit in their fish, It was a God-given talent, and nobody gets a second chance in this life, but my God, roar.
Do you have any regrets then?
I have a lot of regrets and a lot of happy memories.
So, after all the trials then, in England, that wasn't something that you were concentrating on. You come back to Derry, and this is where you loved then, when you were 14, 15, 16, am I right?
Yeah, I was always a Derry guy,
Aye. Same as me, I love Derry. Like, I moved to New York as well, and I couldn't wait to get home.
Manhattan Island, the Bronx, Queens.
The Bronx.
Yeah.
Jenna
wow.
from the Bronx.
Wow.
Aye. So I loved there. But again, I just loved Derry. I didn't want to leave, and I'll never leave again. So between the ages, so we need to move on then to, you went into Maghabury.
Yes.
What
Jenna.
age were you when you went there?
Well, 18 years of age for the first time, and the sentence lasted a year, so I got down to McGilligan prison in Maghabury.
Right. So you went to Magilligan and then moved to Maghabury, is that right?
Yeah, I got sentenced once for a petty crime that I believe, maybe I'm wrong.
No, that's okay, that's your opinion.
And go ahead, Jenna.
Aye.
Talk about Maghabury.
Aye. So
have many questions.
Aye. So how was... Need to be very careful here as well, because I know you have some things going on in the background that we can't talk about. How was Maghabury for you? How long were you there?
I entered Maghabury when I was 22 and a half years of age, and that's when I became blind.
Aye, we're going to come on to that as well. So
Keep asking me questions.
how long were you there before this incident that you just spoke about happened? How long were you in Maghabury?
I was in roughly March till June.
So 3 months, is that right?
Yeah.
And how was your mental health before going on to Maghabury?
I always believed it was okay, but looking back at it now today,
No.
it wasn't acceptable behaviour, do you know?
Aye, so it was more your behaviour than... Aye. So how was your mental health leading up? Did you know the days before this incident? What was your mental health like? What can you remember about those days leading up?
Well, I believe I was a happy-go-lucky guy, do you know?
Right.
And my mental health, there was huge red flags there, you know.
Mm.
I didn't see it at the time, but as I say, in Maghabury, I was happy-go-lucky,
Mm.
training away, and keep having my wee questions, you know.
Aye, so you were telling me that you were training away, you were on the treadmill,
Yeah,
you were lifting weights, and then
not
somewhere...
lifting weights, no, just on the treadmill.
Oh, sorry, just
Okay.
on the treadmill, right, okay,
Yes,
glad we cleared that bit up.
yeah,
So you were keeping yourself to yourself
Yes.
as well in there?
yes. I was getting on amazing, you know, I was 23 and it was a bright world and
Yeah.
the days were class and sun was shining in the skies and
So what happened on the day of that incident? Because whenever I was reading online, sorry, I'm just going to read some things because
yes, no bother, you know.
there is a lot online as well, and I was doing research for a good while reading it as well before you came. So you entered Maghabury. They knew that you had alcohol and drug abuse, is that right?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong in anything that I'm saying as well, alright?
Correct, you know.
And some mental illness.
Yeah, I must have had
Aye.
some kind of mental illness, yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is they treated you just as a normal routine referral when you shouldn't have been.
No, I should have been, you see.
Right.
You're getting the story wrong
No,
about
that's
Maghabury.
good.
You see, there's two sides of the story. There's the truth and there's not the truth. So
That's why you're here.
the truth will set you free.
This is why you're here.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Tell me.
Well, it was in Maghabury and there's 6 houses in Maghabury and 150 prisoners in each house, and I was put into a house with 149 loyalists, more or less, UVF, UDA, this and that. My name was Lynch, and to be honest, all I done was train. The prison officers, woman and male, there's a lot of nice prison officers, and those other 149 prisoners were off their head in drugs. You could see it in their eyes, you could see their activities in the wings at your break when you get round the yard.
Right.
But now, as I say, it was... Sorry, Jan, I'm getting a wee bit.
No, you're grand.
Take it slow a wee bit, please.
Aye.
Yeah.
Just take your time. So, also whenever I was reading up, it said that they were 8 days late in giving you medication. Is that right or is that wrong?
I never took medication all my life, Jenna,
Right, okay.
until this happened, and it's only theories that I can come up with, but the truth will...
Right, okay. No, I know, I understand that there are some things that we can't say, so this is why I wanted to put this to you as well, because obviously that's what's in the news, and you're saying that that's not right. So they're saying that there was an 8-day delay in giving you your medication. So they're more or less trying to say that there was a breakdown, you know, in your mental health, and that's the reason why that's what they're saying. But you're saying that's wrong.
I never took medication in my life, Jenna. Just the drugs in the streets, not the worst ones out there, but only medication I took was for acne.
Aye.
And I never took medication all my life, so I don't know where they're coming up with this now.
Aye. Have you ever heard that, or is this the first time
There's
you're
always
hearing
new
that?
what's getting added on and tossed here and there.
So,
I'm just listening on. I don't talk to nobody about it, so...
but that must be why frustrating too for you though, because this is for everyone to read. This is online. You just
Yeah.
Google your name and this is what's coming up, and it's not, according to you, it's not true. So this is why, again, it's so important for you to be able to tell your story.
Yeah.
So, again, reading the news articles on the day that this incident happened to you, it says here you inflicted extreme and shocking self-harm over a 3-day period.
It was actually a 6-day period, 2nd of June to the 6th of June, sorry.
Okay, no, Gran, you correct me.
Yeah, no bother,
So,
Janet.
from the 2nd of June to the 6th of June,
Yes.
you were self-harming you weren't self-harming?
My food and fluids were getting drugged,
Right, okay.
so I was took then to a different part of the jail where there was no CCTV and was held from the 2nd to the 6th of June.
Right.
And every time I came into contact with the prisoner officers that was dealing with me, they were drugging me, and this was going on for 4, 5, 6 days.
How were they drugging you? What were they? Was it tranquilizers
No.
or?
I remember at lunchtime I was eating a stew, and I ate the stew, and after it I can't explain the way I felt, and
Right.
I sort of said to the prison officers, male, female, I don't feel right here, and they whisked me off to a different part of the prison, like, and
Right.
as I say, at different stages in that 5-day period, they would have came on and they would have beat you black and blue and sat on your lungs, and and there would have been they would always send one prison officer in, and whatever drugs that they drugged me with, I was attacking the prison officer, but there was 6 or 7 of them behind him,
Right. Okay.
and it was just a whole mess, the whole lot of it, and
So you
I
do
believe
have.
it was for something so little, you know.
So you do have memory. You do have vivid memories. You remember everything that happened right up to this incident.
Yeah, I have a clear memory, Jenna, so I am ready. I'm just getting myself prepared here, so...
I know, right? So, if any of this is too much, you can stop.
Right,
Tell
right.
me to stop, right? And I'll stop. Move on to the next question, because I know how hard this must be for you. So, on that day, you blinded yourself.
Yes, I
What?
gouged my eyes,
Right. What?
knocked cords, and seen stars, gold, purple, blue, yellow, green,
Right.
sunshine for the last time.
Right. Okay. What do you want a wee breather?
No, brilliant,
You
so I
alright?
keep going, Jesus.
What do you remember about that particular day? Did you wake up as normal? Not as normal, but another day in Maghabury.
Yeah,
You woke up that day another day in Maghabury. Were you in a different wing, or were you back in the monitored one again?
the monitored one, but I don't think it was getting monitored. They were just completely taking the hand out of me, like going round days and days. Like,
So when you were in your cell, did they ever come in and knock or come in and check on you or come in and ask how you were or anything?
oh, they came on and alright, and they sat in my lungs, and they brought allosations to the door, and the male nurse could see the vital signs in my eyes that I was a bit in docket with the drugs they were putting on them, and they're bringing allosations in, and I was making eye contact with allosation, and it just turned away, and see later it was as if the dog knew that the officers were on the bad, and I was an innocent victim. I was just there to get better. I was 23 years young.
Aye, so young as well. So during this time as well, were you in contact with your family? Were they visiting, or was it phone calls?
There was one visit, and there was many phone calls, yes.
And did anyone in your family notice you deteriorating over those few days that...
Yeah, I got a phone call in one part of the prison and says, look there, it's the middle of the day, and I'm standing in a phone booth, and there's 30 officers outside, white shirted officers outside this phone booth and they're all waiting to take me back to the one cell.
Right.
Why me? Question mark.
Aye.
And another stage in the 5-day period was that half an hour before I got gouged my 2 eyes that God gave me out. I made a phone call to my dad and explained to him, look, this crowd's taking me out to Craigavon Hospital and they're sweet talking a male nurse doctor and they're not doing nothing, they're taking me straight back and they're putting me like...
Straight back on. So what was the reason they were taking you to Craigavon? Was this before the incident then?
They were taking me to Craigavon because in my groin area, a little centimetre, I got glass in a cell that was there that I was put on me, nothing else, no TV, no water, no blankets, no pillows, just a big bit of glass.
Right.
With me drugged.
Right.
And I cut down below the ground area a centimetre.
Right.
But at that time, back when I was 23, 10 years ago, with a wee operation, you just simmered the skin, and that's it, and away you go. So
Aye.
it was just, like as I say...
Yeah. So why did you do that? Was that a cry for help, do you feel?
You see, the drugs that they put under my system, it felt like the blood was going to burst out of your skin. Like if the judge, Barney McElhone, knew he was sending young kids and people with lives in front of them, and they were sending them up to a place called Maghabury, which has a lot of more drugs and poisons, and you just wouldn't believe it. It's like a circus up there. It's an absolute circus.
Do you feel then, Sean, is that what happened to you then?
All I can say, Jen, is I got drugged and I was held captive for 5 days.
Right, okay. So let's go back to reading these reports. This is probably not true either because everything that I've put to you already, it's not your version of events. So it says 2 police officers watched as you injured yourself on more than 20 occasions. Over the space of an hour, that was. And you were shouting and you were crying in pain. But they did not try and stop you.
You see any marks? I may be blind, but...
Aye.
You're me acting a big man now. Sorry, what we saying, Jenna?
You want me? No, it's your grand. So just reading the reports online, it said 2 police officers watched as you injured yourself more than 20 occasions. Just in the space of an hour, they said that you were shouting and you were crying in pain, but the officers didn't do anything. They didn't stop you.
Yes,
Do you remember this?
Did you say police officers or did you mean prison officers, Jenna? Sorry.
It says police officers, but as a prison officers? There's a difference, is there?
Not really, but...
So do you remember that? Do you remember doing that to your eyes? Do you remember the pain that you were in? Do you remember crying for help and no one coming to help you?
No, like as I say, the drugs they put in my system... It's a lot of pain, yeah, but I wanted to... You see, they were taking me to Craigavon, and as I say, sweet talking the main nurse doctor, and actually 3 grown men sitting around Sean Lynch in a bed, and a few times punches and kicks him through the ground. I remember a doctor came on and stuck a needle on my backside, my right bum cheek, with fluid on it, and took me back to Maghabury.
Right.
Maghabury.
So, what was the reason then for doing that to your eyes? Was there any reason, or was this just because you felt that you were being drugged and you had no control over your mind?
No, in this whole prison, and my cry for help wasn't getting... You see, people's cry for help... Just going to take things slow.
You take your time. I'm here.
Next question, please. Then,
sorry, you're grand.
Not, you don't have to pass that last question, but...
No, so that was just... Do you remember that? Did you feel pain doing that?
I'm sure there must have been some kind of pain.
Aye. So, what happened then when the officers finally got into the room after you'd done that, were you taken straight to hospital? Were you kept there for a while? What way did they treat you then?
Out the ambulance back to Craigavon Hospital, and the paramedic in the back of the nurse, or in the back of the ambulance, says to the two prison officers, look, you can't take this man back to Craigavon Hospital. I'm swinging around him. There and then, in front of my eyes and in front of my ears, the conversation going on.
Mm.
They swung around on the motorway and made their way to Royal Victoria Hospital. I went in and they were looking to take me back blind to Maghabury, but the doctor, Michael White, says he's aren't taking this guy nowhere. He's staying with me. So that was like God to me. He helped me, because if I got took back there, like, I wouldn't have lasted the night, like.
No.
And I just...
So they actually wanted to take you back after what had just happened. They just wanted to take you straight back to Maghabury.
Yeah, straight back. Torment, horrible abuse for days and days and days, like.
Jesus, Sean. So, to your knowledge, was there ever any investigation into those officers that stood and watched without intervening?
To be honest, Jenna, no.
Not that you know of, anyway, no. We know there is an investigation ongoing still, but I mean, that's just, what happened to you is just awful. It was one of the most extreme cases of self-harm in Maghabury ever reported in 30 years. Sorry, I'm jumping back a bit there. So when you went to the Royal then,
Yeah.
did they tell you straight away that you were going to be blind for the rest of your life? Is that something that you knew straight away, or is that something?
Oh, something I knew straight away, just with, like, my two eyeballs must have been outside the socket, if you understand.
I get you. So there's nothing medically that can be done then to bring your sight back? Too badly damaged?
No, just keep eating my fruit and batter on with my life and
Aye.
forget about the past, sort of, I don't know.
Aye. Do you ever get days where you get really, really angry? The way you were treated, what happened, how it ended for you?
I'm just horrified if any of my family members ever end up in Maghabury.
I've had to interrupt the episode so that I can do a sneaky wee plug of my own business, the one that I actually work to make an income from. So I make all my own wax melts, room sprays, reed diffusers, carpet fresheners, car air fresheners, anything that smells good and makes your house and car smell good, I can make it. So it's called House of Scents. I'll also tag it here, and this is where you will find your new favourite fragrance products.
The whole judicial system, if I'm getting the word right here, is a complete, like, probation officers. It's all, somebody needs to sit down and have a good look at it.
Aye. So your daddy has been so vocal about your treatment as well. And Maghabury, I've read a lot about him. The whole treatment was completely wrong. The whole aftercare was completely wrong. So when that incident happened, were you allowed to go home then? Were you able to go home?
No, they kept me in the Royal Victoria Hospital for 45 weeks, roughly.
Right. But did you have to finish your sentence, or did they let you go home?
No, the charges were getting dropped. It was
Aye. So, right, okay, so we went home. So, again, correct me if I'm wrong now, I'm going to read out something that I read online, alright?
Thank you.
So, Sue McAllister, you probably recognise that name.
Well,
she's the Director General of that prison, Maghabury.
Her name doesn't ring a bell. She's not that important to me, so...
Right, well, because I'm going to read out what she said, and it actually is not great what she said. So, this is her words. Sue McAllister said in a statement, "It was the most extreme cause of self-harming that I've ever experienced in my 30 years of working in prison." She also said, "Her thoughts are with you and your family." But she also said that this is not about pointing blame or apologising. So she hasn't apologised.
I wouldn't want an apology.
And that was going to be my next question.
It's just people get themselves in trouble in this town. It's going to be put away to a prison where there's no help.
And then you have the Director General of a prison not even offering any words of comfort at all. No, even putting that on a statement is, saying basically she's not apologising. So you've never had any private letter, any private phone call, or any private meeting from Sue McAllister?
No, never.
Nothing, right? So she just put that in the news and said that. So what about Claire Sugden then? She is the Justice Minister. You recognise that name?
Yeah, I recognise it from government politics. Someone
Aye.
using that at 6 o'clock, whatever time. But
do you remember what she said?
no,
No.
you
I'm
see,
going to read it out again.
I don't get told much,
Aye. Aye. So I think this was actually to your daddy.
Yeah.
That she said this, that she was deeply sympathetic to you and your family. She said lessons will be learned and improved for dealing with vulnerable prisons. So what do you think about that? Do you think that that's sufficient?
As long as she does what she says, and that's good enough.
How long has it been now? Is it 10 or 11 years?
Coming up to 11 now, Jenna, yeah.
So you would like to think in the space of 11 years that they have implemented some kind of, help for vulnerable prisoners coming in?
Yeah.
But obviously you don't know that because you haven't had any contact with these people.
Correct.
So the lowest point in your life wasn't when you were in Maghabury?
No, it's actually right now. When I was in Maghabury, I was a fit young man. As I say, I was on the treadmill every day.
Aye. I mean, after Maghabury, when you lost your sight, you can't see, that wasn't the lowest point of your life?
It was pretty horrific, yeah, when I look back at it, but after being in the Royal Victoria for 45 weeks, I ended up in Grangewood and Grantia. It's a mental health clinic, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I was there for 2 or 3 weeks. And
so this was after your incident, you spent time in Grangewood?
Yeah, after the Royal Vic, yeah.
Right, okay. We spoke about that briefly, actually, remember, on the phone today when I rang you?
Yes, Jenna.
Because I was also in Grangewood.
Yeah.
And we kind of discussed our different experiences of it.
Yeah.
Do you feel Grangewood helped you then for them 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, there's classes and it's peaceful and quiet, it's out of the way.
Aye.
Comfy mattresses, and a room and shower to yourself and TV and as I say, some of the classes is therapy classes, listening to music, and it's soothing and relaxing, and I have a lot of huge compliments for everybody that worked out there, so
that's good
all
then.
good to the hoodmucks.
Well, that's brilliant. So how is your mental health now then?
I'd say 50-50, 55, 45, getting there, but I'm keep working on it.
Aye. So what kind of things do you do then? So obviously because you are blind now, you have to navigate life completely different now.
Yeah.
So what kind of things do you do? Like what do you do with your days?
I would get up early in the morning, get the news on, banana, and bowl of cereal, clean the teeth, wash the fish, get a shower, whatever, get changed. Over to my granddad's for lunchtime, bit of lunch, on the treadmill.
So you'd obviously listen to a lot of music. You have to rely now on your hearing more than anything.
Yes.
So have you got good hearing?
Pretty good.
Does my laugh pierce your ears?
No. It's very soothing and relaxing.
My sisters say that I have a really annoying laugh, so that's good. I'm going to tell them about this.
There's some woman now, I'll tell you that. From a woman that was at the bridge.
Aye.
Went through your problems to the woman you are talking to me today, driving your own wee silver Polo. Fair play to you, much. Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Sean.
You're welcome, Jenna.
I know, but do you not feel sometimes that we need to hit that low in your life? Like you have to hit that rock bottom sometimes, because then the only way is up.
Very famous song, isn't it?
Is it? The only way is up.
Way is up. Baby.
Maybe you could become a singer as well. You never know.
Like Jordan O'Keefe, yeah.
Jordan O'Keefe, he was here last week.
Yeah.
He was here last week.
Yes.
So what's your plans going forward now? Because you are still young. What age are you?
33 years of age, Jenna.
Is your birthday St. Patrick's Day?
Sure is, Jenna.
I remember things. So going forward then, you're still so young. What's your plan? Do you have any plans, goals, dreams, things that you want to do?
Yeah.
Let's hear them. Are you allowed to tell me?
Yeah, well, it's just thoughts in the brain for the meantime.
Aye.
until I actually do what I'm thinking. I'll keep my thoughts to myself, but
Aye.
offset that would happily.
There's a lot we'll talk about offset as well, because there's a
Oh,
lot of
bother,
things
Janet.
that we can't talk about. But
Yes.
you told me because I rang you. Remember, I was searching for your number for
You made
6
me
months.
feel famous.
Well, I mean,
Thanks.
you kind of are, because
Aye.
over the past few days, because I only launched a podcast last week, and then people have been saying to me, oh, you know, who do you have coming on next? And I said,
Yeah.
Sean Lynch. And every single person said, oh my God, how is he doing? Like, how's he doing now? You know, I'd be really keen to hear how he is and stuff. So this is a good thing. People want to know how you are. There's a lot of love and support out there too for you, Sean.
Thank you, because times can be lonely.
Oh no, I
at the
know.
minute.
Aye. But this is what I mean. People are talking about you and thinking.
Well, that's good to know, Jenny. You see,
Aye.
I get told nothing, just that's it. Get
Well, I
on
mean,
there.
no one knows who you are, Sean. It took me 6 months to find you.
Yes. Thanks again, Jenny, for your time and commitment.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
So we had a brief phone call there, going back to dreams and things that you want to do going forward. I told you that I was going to Dubai in April.
Yes, with
You
your
s-
young son, Dannon.
Me and Dannon's going to Dubai. You said that you'd always want to go to San Fran. Is that right?
Yeah, well, California, basically, where you were for your honeymoon, you
That's
know.
right. You remember everything.
Thanks.
You do. You have some memory on you. So maybe a bit of travelling then for you.
Well, when you says Dubai, I sort of got a bit jealous. The Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world. I was
Aye.
thinking, would your wee man Dannon have the confidence and the strength to go the whole way to the top of it?
He doesn't know one
Brave.
thing about Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai is for me. He just has to come because he's my son. He has to come everywhere with me.
Like beaches and palm trees and
Aye. Do you know, it's one
palm
of them
trees, yeah.
palm trees? I think so. I'll not be looking at the palm trees though. I'm looking for a sugar daddy, Sean. That's what I'm going there for.
You serious, kid? Jesus, Jenna.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Just a nice holiday.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up now, because I think that you've given us so much already.
Thanks,
And
Jenna.
it wasn't easy for you. I know it wasn't easy for you. And what I just want to end with now is, what is something that you wish more people knew about mental health?
Young kids growing up, they should listen to their parents and stick at school and get educated, and their sports and their pastime, and help me along with this, Jenna.
Aye. So basically follow the rule book.
Yeah.
Listen to your parents. Stay in school. Keep educated. Stay with the right crowd. Is that right?
And enjoy your sports, and
Enjoy your sports. Everything that you were doing as well.
it's a bright future ahead if you stick to that.
Aye.
As I say, in the city, there's a lot of dirt in the streets, let's say,
Aye.
lining people's pockets. I won't go down that road, but
Let's not.
yeah.
Let's end it on a good positive note then.
Thanks, Jenna.
Sean, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Jenna.
And I don't say this lightly, but it is an honour to speak to you. I've been looking to speak to you for so long. I keep saying it over and over, but no, I am so grateful. And it's also Valentine's night, so see if someone had told me years ago that you would be spending Valentine's 2025 with Sean Lynch, I would have said, wise up. And here we are. Where's my roses?
Which ones would you like, red or white?
Give me a mix.